for committees to consider reports prepared by council officers and make recommendation regarding these reports at the monthly council meeting. Council delegates on the Infrastructure and Environment Committee are Mayor Kennedy, Deputy Mayor Hickey, Chairperson, Councillor Allgate, Councillor Byrne and Councillor Chandler. All councillors undertook an oath or an affirmation at the beginning of their term of office and declared to undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interests of the people of the Broken Hill local government area in the city of Broken Hill. And they will faithfully and impartially carry out the functions, powers and authorities, discretions vested in them under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of their ability and judgment. This committee meeting is being live streamed via YouTube and recorded and published online via council's website. To those present in the meeting today, by attending this public meeting, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. The chairperson or the general manager have the authority to pause the live stream if comments or debate are considered defamatory or otherwise inappropriate for publishing. Participants are advised that they may be subject to legal action if they engage in unlawful behaviour. The first order of business is the swearing in of the newly elected council. I call on the general manager to conduct the swearing in of the newly elected council who was elected as a result of the countback election held on the 27th of March 2025 as per the requirements of the Local Government Act 1993.
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. The swearing of the new elected council is pursuant to Section 233A of the Local Government Act 1993, which requires the newly elected councillor to either take an oath of office or make an affirmation of office at or before the first council meeting after the councillor was elected, and this must occur before the general manager. Councillor Page has been advised of this requirement and provided with the required statements in preparation for tonight's meeting. Councillor Page is elected to take the oath of office. I have a Bible in hand.
I, Ron Page, swear that I will undertake the duties of the office of councillor in the best interest of the people of the city of Broken Hill and the Broken Hill City Council, and that I will faithfully, impartially carry out the functions, powers, authorities and discretion vested in me under the Local Government Act 1993 or any other act to the best of my ability and judgment.
Welcome back, Councillor Page.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, when they rang me about this tonight, they said, you want to take your hand on the Bible or the Quran?
Which did you pick?
I'll give you one guess.
We have an apology from Councillor Hickey. Does someone like to move that the apology be accepted? I move Councillor Chandler, seconded Councillor Allgate. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Just so that you'll be on this committee as soon as the council meeting confirms it, Councillor Page. Councillor Chandler, would you like to do the prayer?
Almighty God, we ask you to invoke your blessing upon this council, direct and prosper our deliberations to the advancement and the true welfare of the people of the council area, our state of Australia.
Thank you, Councillor Chandler. Councillor Byrne, you happy to do the acknowledgement of the country?
We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which we meet today, the land of the Willacali people, and pay our respects to the elders past, present and emerging.
Thank you. Councillor Allgate.
Thank you, Mayor. We take time to reflect, remember and honour the over 800 miners that lost their lives and those that were crippled or maimed on the line of load. We thank the brave miners and their wives who were part of the 1919-1920 strike that lasted over 500 days and delivered a 35-hour working week. Mining is our past and our future.
Thank you. Disclosure, minutes for confirmation. Do we have a mover for the
Move
minutes?
the minutes.
Move councillor Allgate, seconded councillor Chandler. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Disclosures of interest. Do we have any disclosures of interest? No. We move on to reports. Item number 1 is the adoption of the Heritage Assistance Grants Policy. Do we have a mover for that? Councillor Byrne, moved, seconded.
Seconded.
Councillor Allgate. Councillor Byrne, you'd like to speak to that? Councillor Allgate?
Oh, it's just a rehash of the original, so it's doesn't have to go on display.
No, but it is really quite good. So there is
Yeah,
up to $3,000 for painting, matched, $1,500 matched, also 80% loan for veranda restoration and a 20% grant. So it's good that the council's put this back out there, and I thank the general manager and manager of infrastructure for doing that, because it is important. I'm sure I'm not the only councillor or person that people have spoken about how important that program is to be
it's
continued.
been well used in the past.
Yeah. Sure. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 2, minutes of the lead reference group. Moved, councillor.
Move the minutes. of the-
Councillor Allgate, seconded. Councillor Byrne. Councillor Allgate, would like to speak to that?
Just the only comment I'd like to make, I see that in 2024, the 44% of the children tested were over and above the limit, the acceptable limit. So that, it's an ongoing problem that doesn't appear to be, diminishing at all.
No, look, the only way that's going to diminish is if we do, and the department does start to implement some of the strategies they've talked about, because if it doesn't happen, there's no chance that we're going to long-term keep lead levels down in Broken Hill. It's going to always result in children that are above, which puts us at a disadvantage of everyone else in the state. Councillor Boland, you're on that committee. Was there anything else that was brought on?
Thank you, Mayor Kennedy. We spoke about daycare centres and the rehabilitation work done to daycare centres, especially the ones that are around the mine sites. And the new owners of Brass Mine were in attendance as well, and went over some plans to change the chemicals they're using on the skim dumps to keep the dust down. But there's a lot of conversations around the state of some housing around the city, and the fact that they tend to be landlords that don't live locally, and it can be quite difficult to get repairs done to those houses, even though a lot of times the repairs and the mediation work is paid for out of the program, but they seem to be a bit funny about accepting government assistance to fix homes up.
And so this is one of the big issues. Until we get our footpaths covered, houses are never going to be able to be kept clean, no matter how much remediation's done, simply because every time you clean it, it comes back off the street. So unless we've got a physical barrier, a trap that traps that dust, it is always going to end up in people's houses, whether that be in ceiling cavities or on the floors themselves. Because what happens, we all live here, we know that the only way you keep the dust from blowing around is to make sure that when it hits a barrier, whether that's a vegetative barrier or some other barrier, it's the only actual way to stop lead levels in Broken Hill. And we can have people talking about houses and repairing houses, but the reality is you have to take care of the dust source itself. And until we do that, it's not going to be fixed. And the only way that can be done is for the government to fund many, many millions of dollars, providing the maintenance probably through the council to make sure that we keep the streets and footpaths clean so the dust doesn't blow from there into people's houses. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Move to before we go into confidential session, is anyone going to speak about anything that would be considered confidential? We won't move into confidential. Can we have a mover for item report number 3?
Move that way. Is that the Williama Common Trust?
Yes.
Yeah, move that way. It's in our best interest. It's
Yeah.
part of our overall plan.
Yep. Seconded. Councillor Chandler. Any debate? All those in favour? Carried unanimously. Item number 4, quotation for reconstruction. Do we have a mover for that? Move for the recommendation. Move councillor Burns, second to councillor Chandler. All those in favour? Carried unanimously. There being no other business, I declare the committee meeting closed at 5:41 p.m.